Good evening and welcome to Next Gen Season 12 Ginetta GT5s, sponsored by Emily Linscott. We're here at Bathurst, Mount Panorama for round number 7, and we're in the dusk of the Australian night. It's going to be an absolute cracker, this one. Round 7, the first round of the back end of the season. Let's be honest, this is where it's all crunch time for the drivers. They need to perform from here on out to win any championship battles they have going on. So in a minute we'll go through the point standings as everyone goes around their lap here at Bathurst. There's our Cape on the verge of skyline here. The shock shaft, his teammates. The shock shaft comes around the last few comes for the Forest sailboat on his current out lap. So let's have a look then at the current championship standings coming into round 7. As Adam Morris has set a time, but I think that's an out lap time. So the order of the championships at the moment. Boyer Axa 14 still leads his championship into the second half of the season with 241 points. Been really showing up a lot of the people this season. But Adam RS is second with 199. RS Jim is on 122. Jamie F430 is not here tonight. It's on 120. Radovan AT is on 112. AMH Racing is on 110. Then you have Liam at Thursday on 109, who's not here tonight. Fraser on 103. Yorkshire Stig on 78. Sandwalk is on 64. Shockshaft on 62, Gaza, who's not here tonight, on 62 as well. Shadowstalker on 51, Afcave on 50, Tilbs is on 35, Cam on 26, Scooby G is on 19 after his heroic attempt at Azure Circuit. Slider Gas, who's here tonight, is on 16. Got Marco is got 11 points with LB Sergio also on 11. So, good evening to DJ Crick, Afcape and Bud, who is watching the stream at the moment. Very good to see everyone here watching the stream. But let's have a look at the field we have tonight as we start getting some times. Slider Gas with a 2 minutes 30. So at the moment we have Slider Gas 28, Fraser, Jim, Adam Morris, Raiderman 80, Caesar 82, Avcape, Cop Marco, Shockshaft, Shadow Stalker, LB Sergio, and Boy Rexa. The current championship leader at the moment. Now I'm hoping I've already got a map of Bathurst somewhere. There it is. So let's try and find someone who will be starting a lap soon enough. There's Cop Marco starting his current attempt. So this is Fraser coming up towards the chase. We're only 10 minutes worth of qualifying, so these boys really have a very limited attempt here. As Fraser goes into Murray's. Let's see if we can go on board with him. At the moment, Slider Gas is on pole. Big changes for this one. The track penalties are on as Fraser goes quickest with a 2 minutes 28.959. But he's just gone through hell. RS Jim now puts in a good time. So he's just gone through hell. Let's have right on board here with Jim. We're going to go down the mountain straight, which takes a lot longer in a GT5 car compared to others. Shadow Stalker's had his lap time invalidated due to track limits. So we head down to Quarry Bend. Into Quarry. Up towards the cutting, there's a little flick left into a hairpin left uphill. Slider Gas is now back into second place. Then we go through Griffin's Mount and up towards Reed Park. Now this should be absolutely flat. It is. Reed Park is flat through there. Go to the left and then we head down the hill through Solomon Park. Really long left-hander. Then over the crest into McPhillamy Park. Getting absolutely flat from Jim. Then we head towards the Skyline and into the S's. Into the S's part. Not quite. He's got away with that actually. It wasn't quite perfect. Into the Dipper. And we head towards Forest Elbow. This horrible left-hand hairpin. That's downhill, really tricky to stop the car. Then we head down one of the most famous straights in the world, the Conrod Straight. We're down on the best lap so far for RS Jim. Up over the crest is going to go to this really fast right hand, absolutely flat, before we head into the chase. And qualifying has finished. Through the chase we go. And down towards Murray's. This race at dusk. So lights are very much required on this one. Through Murray's up towards the line. I don't think we're going to go any faster on that lap. We don't. Who else is coming across that line? So we'll find him. There's Afcape, puts himself into 6th place. A good driving from him so far. Who's that behind? That's the question. It was Boyrax, and he's taken pole position so far. Is there anyone that can stop him? Here comes Slidergas 28, or 2:27.3 to beat. Comes up towards the line. He can't beat it. And there's Revan, there's Afcape, there's Shockshaft. Caesar stays down in 10th place. Comp Marco and Shadowstalker haven't set a time. I think there is someone around. Who is that? That is Shockshaft, still on a lap. Could he be the hero? And he spun it out of the chase, so that's his qualifying over. So, Boyraxer takes pole position. Away from RSGM at the end of that. A fantastic bit of driving from him. RSGM comes home in second place with Slidergas in third. Fraser is fourth, Radovan fifth, Adam Morris, a poor qualifying really by his standards, down in sixth place. Sergio is in seventh, Afcape is in eighth. Shockshaft is ninth, Caesar 82 is in 10th. With Cop Marco and Shadowstalker not setting a time, rounding out the grid. So we await this race to get underway as they can make final adjustments to setups. So the tyre wear is on. 4 laps for this first sprint race. And the top 5 won't be able to qualify in race 2. Who's going to get the best start? So we continue to wait. So here we go. We're going to sink in now. Three red lights here at Mount Panorama, Bathurst, and we're green for the first time tonight. Who's got the best getaway? And it's a fairly equal one from all the drivers, actually. I mean, Fraser had a good start. Afcape hasn't come storming through the field, but Boyraxer will go into hell for the first time in the lead. There's RSGM. Slidergas has kept his place. There's Fraser in fourth. Radovan is still in fifth with Adam Morris sixth. Afcape is in seventh as we head down towards Quarry Bend for the first time. And it looks like Fraser's trying to make a move. Around the outside of Slidergas, he's made that stick. A fantastic move from him. Sergio is looking at the outside of Caesar 82 now as we come into Quarry Bend for the first time. Afcape almost looking around the outside of Adam Morris here, and that is very close racing there. But none of them being able to make that move stick. But there's Afcape up the inside of Adam Morris. What a move! Into the cutting, and we have a spinner. That is Slidergas has spun at the cutting. I think he got slightly collected by Caesar 82 there. Bit of a shame. It's easy to do at the cutting. Spin the cut, and there's Caesar, and both of them no bonnet left anymore. Back at the front though, and Boyrax still leads as we come in to the S's and into the Dipper for the first time of 4 here. We head through Half Cape, still ahead of Adam Morris. What a move he pulled off at the cutting, a fantastic effort from the Dutchman. He'll be looking to fend off that Snekjuka race car. Sergio in 7th, Shadowstalker, a good start from him, up into 8th. Cut Marco has been passed by Sliding Gas and Caesar at the moment as they both come into the Forest Elbow. And that is Sliding Gas losing the back end yet again. Something not quite right with the setup there. That thing is sliding all over the shop. Back at the front, and Boyraxa still leads, but Shadowstalker has got past Shockshaft, so maybe a bit of a spin for Shockshaft. As he now comes into the chase for his first time. Adam Morris does have Sergio behind him, but oh, and that's Fraser. Fraser has spun at Murray's. Oh, and he spun on the way out, trying to recover. Not ideal from Fraser. A fantastic start from the man, and unfortunately a spin at Murray's. I don't know whether he might have got helped around at all, but he's now down to 11th place, so he's got a longer race ahead of him. It's going to feel longer than 4 laps, that will be. Back up for this battle for 4th place then. On board with Adam Morris as we come up to the cutting for the second time of 4. Hit the brakes. Really good stuff this from Half Cape, giving Adam Morris no chances right now. As we head up the hill. Through Reed Park we go. Back over the crest. Oh, and a scrape on the wall for Adam Morris has lost him a bit of time. As we now head down towards McPhillamy Park. There's Shockshaft up to 8th. And I think Fraser spun at Quarry Bend. It's not gone well this for Fraser, this first race. Front though, and Half Cape's having to defend really hard now down the Conrod straight as Adam Morris tries to pull up alongside. It's going to have to get him Adam Morris is going to have to stay around the outside of Half Cape through this right-hander to stand a chance with the inside for the chase, and it's going to be more difficult than he thinks. Oh, but what a move from Adam Morris. He stayed it around the outside, got the inside for the chase, and that is Adam Morris up into 4th place. Big points difference at the moment between him and Boyrax in the championship, and yet again another big points difference at the moment in the race. If it was to stay this way, and Half Cape's in the wall. A mistake from Half Cape through Murray's. Sliding Gas has retired. Which is a big shame. You do get points for finishing in those lower positions, so every little counts in this championship. Shadowstalk having a cracking race up into 7th place then. Fraser's got a lot of work to do, but he will definitely be able to qualify in race number 2. At the front though, and Boyraxa is now being hassled by RS Jim. On board with the bumper of RS Jim as we head up the hill behind the championship leader. Here on lap 3 of 4. As we head down the hill towards McPhillamy Park for the 3rd time. Cop Marco's got a penalty for track limits into the Skyline and the S's. And into the dipper. See the back end moving around on Boyrax's car. Now down into Forest Elbow. Different lines. Can Jim get a better exit onto the Conrod Straight? He's going to have the slipstream as well, mind. And slipstream is very strong down the Conrod Straight. Oh, and Sergio into the wall. At the Forest Elbow. Dropped him down to 8th place at the front, and our Jim hasn't been able to use the slipstream to catch Boyrax into the chase. But LB Sergio at the Forest Elbow, unfortunately spinning. Not the ideal route. And Shockshaft is there to potentially take some places. Oh, and Sergio's gone absolutely wide. He's come back across the track at the chase, and he's just clipped Shockshaft, who's now ripped his bumper off. So Sergio's rear bumper, and he is retired. Big shame. Like I say, you do get points for finishing in those lower places. Even if you're having a bad race, just finish it. You will get something for it. But as RS Jim on this final lap, heading through Quarry Bend up towards the cutting for the final time. Boyrax is going to have to work for this win. Fraser's up to 10th without even passing another car, which is fairly impressive to be fair. But Jim really chasing Boyrax down as we head down the hill. Caesar now passing Shadowstalker up towards Reed Park. But Shadowstalker gets him back. A good bit of driving that from Shadowstalker, keeping it there. The top two now coming into the Forest Elbow for the final time. Down the Conrod Straight. Jim's close enough. If he can get some slipstream here, he could catch us at the back of Boyrax into the chase. So we head into the right-hander. Up towards the chase for the final time this race. And Boyrax looks like he's managed to do enough down the Conrod to stay ahead and through the chase as they now come down towards Murray's for the final time. Through the left-hander of Murray's, and it's going to be Boyrax who takes the first win of the second half of the season. RS Jim very close behind him. Fantastic racing in the end. Ray Van 80 will come home for a third place position, followed by Adam Morris. Then Afcape gets a top 5, and he is very happy with that. A cracking result for the Dutchman. Shadowstalker, a fantastic 6th place. He's going to be happy with that. Caesar 82 getting hassled now by Shockshaft as we come through Murray's. Who's going to take the 7th place is going to be Shockshaft, with Caesar right alongside him. Fantastic stuff from these guys. Cop Marco coming down to Murray's for his final time. He's going to be in the top 10 with the 9th place finish here. Good result from Marco. Fraser, fair play. He's got no bonnet anymore, but he's stuck it out to the end. He's got himself a top 10 finish. Hopefully luck will be more with him in race number 2. So the results of race number 1 are provisional, obviously. Boyrax will take the win from RS Jim. Ray Devan will be in 3rd. Adam Morris 4th, Afcape 5th, Shadowstalker 6th, Shockshaft is 7th, Caesar82 is 8th, Marco 9th, Fraser 10th, Sergio and Slidergas both retiring. Yeah, I can say that, okay. So, let's get a couple of people in. So, we're going to get a couple of the drivers in for a quick interview. Hopefully we'll get Boyrax and Afcape in, because Afcape a fantastic drive from the Dutchman.
Hello.
Good evening, Afcape, you alright?
Yeah.
Evening, Benji.
Hello.
As long as you two have both got your audio sharing on, this will all go smoothly. Benji, a perfect start to the second half of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, the slipstream was quite overpowered in that race. Jim would be about 8 tenths behind me going onto the straights, and he'd be right up my back at the braking zone, so breaking him was impossible. It's just a matter of making sure he couldn't get close enough to make a move.
Afcape, a top 5 finish. It's been a long time coming, but you finally got that top 5.
Yeah, I think it's last time was Monaco last season. I was quite lucky here. As someone spun in the uphill, and Fraser spun. I overtook Morris for a bit, and then I knew I was gonna lose that position. But yeah, still P5, quite happy.
Obviously that means for the pair of you, you're not going to be able to qualify for the next race. How hard is it going to be around Bathurst to come through the pack?
Slipstreaming, so you keep it close together, but with track limits zone you can't afford to make a mistake, or a car in front of you to make a mistake, because you'll be penalised for that. Let's try to keep it clean and see what we can do. It's a long race. It's not one on the first lap.
Afcape?
Yeah, I think it's the same, yeah. Just keep it close, put some pressure on them, hope to make the mistake, and yeah, if not, then you need to overtake them. It's like, you need to see where they're losing time or not.
So, a good race one for pair of you. I'm going to let you both go and get ready for race number 2, because I know as soon as I start inviting people, no one can hear you. So thank you for joining me here.
No problem.
Now, see, race 2 here at Bathurst is 14 laps long. And we are going to invite everyone. So whilst I invite some people, we're going to get the top 5 in the reverse order. Hopefully we'll get this sorted out pretty quickly. With this drag, I think I will just end up inviting them all. We'll just pass Jim an extra invite. Hopefully you'll arrive. For the base of time, I'm just going to get everyone else in. Right, who would be next? Rainvan, Adam, and Left Cape. There we go, Caesar, Marco, Sergio, Fraser. Ah dear, wrong timing. Oh well. So once everyone has joined and I'll make some race director. We're still waiting on a couple. We're waiting for at the moment. Got Marco. He's one of them. So once we get everyone ready, we will get going for qualifying of race number 2 of round 7. One of the biggest changes we've had coming into this second half of the season is the reduction now. We do not have, the drivers do not have to pit for tyres anymore due to some pit stop bugs in the game. That did affect quite a few race outcomes, which is a big shame. It is a shame, but we'll give it another 5 minutes and we'll get going. So just waiting for solid gas C-sets, Jim and Radovan to become ready, which is fine. Obviously a little break in between. But Boyrax, Adam Morris, Radovan, Jim and Afkip cannot qualify. Not allowed to qualify at all. Afkip for the first time this season not being able to qualify, which is good for him really. I mean it's a really good thing. So just Caesar and Radovan, I think we'll get going now and get the racing underway. So here we are at Bathurst for the second qualifying session of the night. Sergio, who looked like he didn't want to come out then, there he goes. So Sergio out, Marco is out on track, Fraser just come to track, so we'll allow them all to go through. So quite a long lap here at Bathurst. We've got 14 laps to go after this, so everything will be riding on getting a good start. So Fraser comes through the forest elbow on his outlap. We'll eventually go on to some time laps soon. I know that Morris disconnected. No, Morris has left. Very, very weird. He's now rejoined, so that's good news there. But we've got some people now going on to some times, which is good to see. There's I'll be Sergio coming on, there's Cut Marco about to come around to start his one, there's Shadow Stalker. Shock Shaft is there, Caesar 82. So Caesar comes up through the hill on his first timed lap. Adam Morris won't be able to qualify, so hopefully everyone will get a time in. Caesar 82 comes up towards the chase then. On his current attempt His brakes into Murray's. Across the lines at a 2 minutes 30.7 to start off our timings. 2:33.2 by Shadow Stalker there. Got Marco there. Comes Fraser. I say he's my favourite here for this qualifying session. As he comes through Murray's up towards the line. Puts it on par with 2:30.4, so 3/10 up on Caesar. Cut Marco's return to the pitch. You might want to get out, son, otherwise Adam Morris will start in front of you, which is not ideal. There's Sergio on an out lap. Here comes Shock Shaft. Up to the line. Puts it in 4th place with a 2:34.2, just behind Shadow Stalker then. There's Obi Sergio, clipping the wall. Out of Reed Park. Cut Marco, really does need to get out of the pit now. Sergio into the wall again as he comes up towards McPhillamy. I mean, the cleanness of the laps is probably an outlap as well. And that is Shadow Stalker in the wall and in the pits. His qualifying is pretty much now over. As Sergio comes down towards the chase. Cut Marco's qualifying's over. He'll be starting behind Adam Morris. No, he's going out now. He won't complete a lap. So, as Sergio goes around to start his final lap. Sergio comes around. Fraser's done a 229.9. So good stuff from him, getting underneath that 2 minute 30 mark. He's got a really good chance here to win this second race as Fraser. You'll want to take both hands. We go back to Sergio, who's coming down towards the forest elbow for his one and only flying lap. Fortunately, Cop Marco will be in between the top 5. Not ideal, but And Sergio now comes up towards the chase on his attempt. Sliding has done well there on 230.4. Puts himself on the front row. But Sergio comes across the line. What does he do? Puts it on pole position at 229.4. Thank you very much. A sensational lap so far from Sergio. Can Slide Gas beat it? He's got to find nearly 1 second. Came nothing's fast enough not to qualify. But here comes Slider Gas. Can he rip away pole position from Sergio? Up to the line. Shame we can't take a little ticking clock in a corner somewhere. But Slider Gas crosses the line. He does go quickest. He goes on pole by 0.093 of a second. Slider Gas rips pole position out at the last second. So Slider Gas takes pole from Sergio. Fraser third. Caesar is in fourth. Shockshaft fifth. Shadow Stalker is in sixth. Adamaris seventh. Marco eighth. Halfcape will be in ninth. Jim 10th. Raider Van 11th. Boy Rexer will be in 12th. So we now await So we're getting ready here to sync up. We have 3 red lights here at Bathurst for the second time tonight, and we are green. Somehow Sergio, I think, got on pole there, but weird stuff. But Slider hasn't had a good start. And now Fraser looking around the outside, coming into hell. Sergio leads, a bit of a bump behind. But it looks fairly clean so far. Or not. Jim into the wall. Very, very lucky to get away with that one. Got Marco down to 10th. Shadow Stalker now down to 12th. Morris up to 5th. Looking down the inside of Quarry Bend. For 4th place from Caesar. He's got points to make up tonight now. And a cracking move, and Caesar in the wall. Going through Quarry Bend. Just about kept it out and kept it alive. But up ahead, Slider Gas trying to attack Fraser now to claim back second place. Sergio's off up the road right now. A good start from the Ginettas here in race number 2. Boyrax are only up into 9th at the moment. RSM getting held up by Marco right now. We continue on here on lap number 1. Sergio still leads. Adam Morris up into 4th. Caesar's been passed by Afcape, so a good start from the Dutchman as we head into the Forest Elbow. Down the Conrad, and behind we've got action. That is Radovan looking around the outside of Shockshaft now to come up through the Conrad into the right-hander. This is looking tight, and both Boyraxer and Radovan get Shockshaft as we head into the chase. Radovan to 7th, Boyraxer to 8th. And Marco unfortunately down to the back now. RS Jim, there's Shadow Stalker. Shockshaft, not really his type of circuit here, I don't think. But Boyrax are looking down the inside of Radovan, and now it got very close for a second. "14 laps of this." And Slider Gas has Adam Morris behind him, who has Afcape behind him, who has Caesar behind him. This is a train of cars. Now looking to try and make it to that leader's spot. As we head down the mountain straight into Quarry Bend for just a second time of 14. Adam Morris having to defend from Afcape as we head into Quarry. Oh, a big wiggle from the Dutchman, and he's gonna lose that place, I think, to Caesar. Or has he? No, he's still got it on the inside here for the cutting. Don't know how Afcape got away with that one, but he continues to be in that top 5. And Caesar in the wall behind him. He's lost the rear end through the cutting. Oh, and this is dangerous. Oh, that was tight. Very well avoided that by Shadow Stalker. Caesar now down to last in that 12th place. Relieves a bit of pressure off of Afcape. He can now go on the full attack to the guys ahead, who are absolutely... Oh, Sergio almost pretty much came to a stop through the S's. I don't know whether he managed to get a penalty. He's now in the wall, but that means Fraser leads in. Oh, and Sergio into the wall again. He's lost the rear end. There's Boyrax, so he's now into the top 5. What's happened to Radovan? Radovan down to 9th. Up ahead though, and Jim trying to pass Shockshaft here for 7th place. I think he's got him before the right-hander. Yes, he has. Shockshaft dips back in. But now the boys in the top 4 have got issues. Boyraxer is in 5th place, and he's on the hunt. And that is Adam Morris reacting swiftly to it, and Afcape as well, looking down the inside up for hell on Slider Gas. They hit the brakes. Afcape, can he get that done? Still side by side as we come out of hell. A bit of a tap, and both of them almost off. Boyraxer claims Afcape's position, and he's gonna claim Slider Gas as at Quarry. And here comes Sergio, past Afcape now into the top 5. Slidergas is not giving up that place, and Adam Morris is all over the back of Fraser here. Slidergas into the cutting. Boyrax is still alongside. He's gone around the outside of the cutting. That's a fantastic stuff as we come up to Reed Park. And Slidergas finally yields through Reed Park, meaning it's Boyraxer up onto the podium spot yet again. Behind we have Shockshaft with Radovan right on his tail as we head up towards McPhillamy Park. Can Radovan get Shockshaft into the forest elbow? He's going to look for a better line out. We'll have the slipstream as well as we head down the Conrod straight. And there goes Radovan alongside up the Conrod. And that is Radovan's place before the chase. A fantastic move from Radovan. Very well set up onto the Conrod straight. But we have a three-way battle now. Avcape up into 4th. So Slidergas with the issues. Down to 7th for Slidergas, so not good for him. And Sergio has been re-overtaken by Avcape. But back at the front. Three-way battle for the lead here, and we're only on lap number 4. As we head through Quarry Bend, Fraser has a lot of pressure. He's got the Snukchuka guys right on his tail as they head into the cutting for the 4th time of 14. They hit the brakes, go into the corner, and well controlled by Fraser. He'll be hoping that the Snukchuka guys start fighting amongst each other, because those two pretty much have the team's championship sealed right now. They're now battling for individual honours. Got Marco in the pit lane. Slidergas is going well though, a 229 compared, but the leaders are going at 228 with Boyrax at 227.4. Oh, and Fraser might have got to slow down. That's a big shame for Fraser. Down into 3rd place now. And it's a Snukchuka 1-2 as we head down towards the chase. Up the Conrod, here comes Boyraxer. Pulls out alongside. Such a long straight in these cars as we head through the right-hander. Adam Morris is still though going into the chase. Can Fraser maybe benefit from all of this? And a bit of contact between the two teammates now for 1st place. Adam Morris is not giving up that 1st place anymore. He knows that's important points he needs to take back from Boyraxer. So we head over the line to start lap number 5. Avcape running in 4th, that's Sergio in 5th. Everyone else, not really. There's a couple Marco's mid pit stop. No, he's in the wall. It's going into Skyline. Straight on board here with Fraser. We head up towards the cutting. Two Snekchuka guys having to battle it out amongst themselves. On board Boyrax as we come up towards McPhillamy Park for the 5th time of 14 here. They hit the brakes into the S's, into the dipper. See how bumpy it is through there, the cars. No wonder they want to just snap at you over the crest into the forest elbow. Very late on the brakes for Adam Morris. As you know, head up the Conrod Straight for the 5th time. Adam Morris allowing that inside for Boyrax for the right-hander. Knowing if he can stick around the outside, he'll have the inside for the chase. But will Adam Morris hold it around the outside? Yes, he does again. Yet again, he's down the inside for the chase. But it's going to be Boyrax who makes a brilliant move around the outside of the chase to take the lead of race number 2. And now Adam Morris under fire from Fraser. Behind that we have Aft Cape, Sergio, and now RS Jim, who's making his way back up through the field. Battling it out for this 4th place. Sergio looks at the inside of Aft Cape coming into Howie's alongside him. They hit the brakes. Aft Cape braking slightly earlier, looking to get a good run out, and he has done that. Down Mountain Straight for the 6th time now. And Aft Cape got his nose in front. Has he got him all the way yet? Can he cover the space? The answer is no. He's going to have to stick it around the outside of Quarry Bend here. Lay on the brakes, and great move from Aft Cape. And behind, Jim is going to take advantage. He's on the inside for the cutting, and Sergio, after trying to take 1 place, has ended up losing out and going to 6th place as they head through the cutting. Back at the front, and Boyrax under fire now from his teammate as they come through McPhillamy Park. Down towards the Forest Elbow. Season sliding gas with penalties on them. Adam's got half a second here to make up down the Conrod Straight. Will he have the power to do it? Gap is now closing. Not a lot though. Slipstream normally quite strong here. Adam Morris might have a go actually going into the chase. He is closing on Boyrax quite viciously on the second half of that Conrod Straight. But not quite close enough yet for a little cheeky dive. As we now head down towards Murray's for the 6th time of 14. Up towards Hell. And Aft Cape's lost out here. Aft Cape now down to 6th place. Don't know what's happened to him, but something hasn't quite worked right there. And Sergio moves into the top 5. Back with the boys in green. And Adam Morris significantly closing out to Boyrax. Coming into Quarry Bend, he has a look. Thinks better of it though. Can he get a run into the cutting here? Absolutely. As we go into the cutting and up the hill. Adam Morris glued to the back of Boy Rexer, it seems. That's your gap. They'll head up towards McPhillamy Park. Into Skyline and the S's. See how much more confident Boy Rexer is down the hill. Let's have a look at... Oh, and into the wall for Boy Rexer. That's not going to help his exit at all. Let's see how close we can get with Adam Morris as we come up towards the chase on the Conrod Straight for the halfway point of this race. See, we don't get as much of a go until about now. Now the slipstream really does take an effect. See the gap closing, still closing, but not quite enough. They're dropping Fraser because they're not battling, so at the moment Fraser is kind of watching this, hoping something goes bad for them, really. Meanwhile, a bit further back, it's all a bit stalemate right now. Radovan's now got past Half Cape though, so Half Cape now down into P7. Shockshaft is looking at the back of Caesar at the moment, trying to get maybe 8th place back, so losing it. Caesar does have a penalty though, so I don't know what kind of penalty. Let's have a quick look at the penalties whilst we have a quick chance. 1 second for both Caesar and Slidergas. But Adam Morris looking to go side by side now. As we head up through Reed Park and up towards the hill, he's still there. This is going to get tight. Down the hill, into the wall for Boy Rexer, and Adam Morris just couldn't quite finish it. So we come up to McPhillamy Park. Fraser has really caught onto the back of these two now after that little battle. Into the S's, and that's a big bit of curve that for Adam Morris. Scott Marco has unfortunately retired. Let's now head down the straight for the 8th time of 14. Towards the chase. Adam Morris with a bit of work to do here to try and overcome his championship rival. He's got a lot of points and he lost a lot of points in race 1, finishing only 4th compared to Boy Rexer's win. Boy Rexer has won all but 2 races this season. He was saying his last race at Alton Park where he won the race number 2, that was his 30th win in the Ginettas. Could this be win number 12 of this season? Adam Morris though looking to deny that. He looks around the outside as we come up towards Quarry down the mountain straight. He's got his nose ahead as he comes into the corner. They hit the brakes. And yet again, he can't quite get it finished, and Fraser's right there to take any spoils. They are pretty much pushing each other going up towards the cutting. Up over the top of the mountain. Head back down for a brief moment before as they rise up to McPhillamy Park. And towards Skyline where they start their descent. Through the S's. Through the Dipper. And down towards the Forest's Elbow. Yet again a good run, and Adam Morris is closer this time. Less than 4/10. This is crucial right now. That slipstream's strong enough to overhaul a 4/10 gap, I reckon, as they come up towards the right-hander of the Conrod Straight. The gap is evidently decreasing. Adam Morris pulls out and looks to go down the inside of the chase. Yet again, Boy Rex with a good enough run around the outside of the left-hander to keep it for the inside of the right. As they now head down towards Murray's, and Fraser now looking around the outside of Adam Morris as we come into Murray's for the 9th time. Not quite going to work. Slider Gas has retired from this race. Let's get down the mountain straight for the 10th time. We've got another battle. Yeah, here comes Sergio. Is about to come under attack here from Radovan very shortly, as we have 5 laps remaining in this race. Sergio just keeping that gap a little bit to Radovan, but we go back to the front where the top 3 are still battling it out for that top spot here. It's been 10 laps and nothing has separated them ever since they've got together. It's like a marriage between 3 people. All in it till the end. Sees it now, so you have a penalty. In 8th place, but he's got 1 second, but Shockshaft is there within that one. Is he within 1 second? Not quite, but not far off. So we've got to go in within that DRS range almost. As they head down the straight, and Adamara's not quite there this time, not as close to Boy Raxa. As they head towards the chase for the 10th time. Adam Morris, oh, I think he thought about going for the inside again. But Boy Raxa does have good pace through the chase and down towards Murray's. Further back, and Sergio coming into the chase with Radovan right on his tail. Down towards Murray's for them for the 10th time. Nothing happening, but back at the front, and Adam Morris yet again is going to try and look around the outside of Quarry Bend. He needs to brake later and get the car turned in enough. They hit the brakes. Boy Raxa does sneak up around the inside, but this time Adam Morris is still there. He's got the inside for the cutting. This is crucial from Adam Morris. He needs to take this win. He needs to stop losing points to Boy Raxa. And this is the best way to do it, by taking race wins. But Boy Raxa has kept it around the outside of the cutting, and he's still got that first place. Prime opportunity that for Adam Morris. as they all head towards Skyline. And Ray Devan has had an issue, or has he? No, Sergio's had an issue, sorry. Sergio down into 7th. Potentially a big spin there for him, which is not ideal. Back up at the front though. Oh, we've spun with Fraser. Big shame for Fraser, the Renault Esports finalist this year. He's going to have Jim on his tail very soon. In fact, right now. Big shame for Fraser. He was going so well. And just spun it on the downhill section of the mountain. Boyrax still holds onto that lead though. Down towards the left-hander of Murray's and up towards the line for the 11th time to start lap number 12. Behind we have now Jim and Fraser now battling it out for that final podium position. And Cesar is losing time. He's now less than a second, pretty much. I think once you close that gap up to its normal size, it is well, it's just on 2 seconds here between Cesar and Shockshaft. Shockshaft will want to try and claw back some of that time. But Adam Morris now. And Sergio apparently can't continue losing his lights. That's not ideal, although I think Cesar is going around with no lights. So interesting, I don't know whether that's something that Sergio can't see anymore during some of the dark clouds, maybe something to do with his brightness of his screen or something, but Sergio can continue. And even if you just rotated around the track at a safe speed, finish the race, take some points away from this. See the two guys coming around to pass Sergio. Now down towards Murray's, and this is a good run for Adam Morris. Can he get a switchback for Hell? Down towards Hell, and Adam Morris does have a look, but not quite close enough. He's going to look for a run now down into Quarry Bend. So you can't actually see down the hill and on the straight, so very unfortunate that for Sergio, very unlucky. But Boyrax now under attack from Adam Morris as we come into Quarry yet again for the penultimate time. Around the outside, Adam Morris has made that stink this time. That's a brilliant move. He now needs to continue to defend that position big time. Cracking move, and he's put a good half a second between him and Boyrax. Has Adam Morris, so that is good news for the championship hopes of Adam Morris right now. But we have Fraser and Jim. Jim looking to go around the outside of the cutting here. And Jim into the wall at the cutting. Still holds it around the outside now. Great move from Jim to send it around the outside of Fraser. Sergio has retired from the race due to lights not being on his car. Surprised Sergio actually didn't go back to the pits and just go in and fix the damage. To see if that brought back his lights or something like that. See if it's too dangerous, then you don't really want to be on the circuit. But these two are still battling like hell, and now Adam Morris has to fend off the challenge of Boy Raxer down the Conrod Straight. Now we know Boy Raxer is very, very good into the chase. Up over the hill, into the right-hander. Adam Morris just about having enough pace there to keep hold of that top spot right now. Behind, and Jim has gapped Fraser by 1.3 seconds. I can only assume a little mistake from Fraser, causing that big difference. But the battle to watch. The battle for the lead as we go through Hell Corner. For the final time, this is lap 14 of 14, folks, and it's interesting to say the least. Up towards the cutting for the final time. Adam Morris is actually pulling away from Boy Raxer here. We might end up speaking to Adam Morris rather than Boy Raxer for a change. This would be Adam Morris's third win in this season, I believe. I'll have to double check my sources with that one. But as we come up towards Skyline and down towards the final stages of this race, down the Conrod Straight for the final time then. Into the chase they come. Yeah, this would be Adam Morris's third win of this season. Every race being won by a Snekchuka driver. As we come down towards Murray's for the final time. Adam Morris will take his third win of the season and some points away from his championship rival. Adam Morris wins from Boy Raxer. That's Snekchuka 1-2, and Fraser's got past Jim here on the final lap as now coming to Murray's. Be a great result for Fraser. Comes out, they're going to be side by side. There's going to be a photo finish across the line. Jim's just about got his nose ahead right now. And Jim takes third place away from Fraser at the end. A great race between those two. Ray Devan is going to be in fifth. Behind that, we've got Afcape, who's got no lights. Afcape comes home in sixth. A good result for this night for Afcape. Shockshaft will come home in 7th place. A good result from him in the end, just sticking it out. Caesar82 will come in 8th place. And then finally this man, Shadowstalker DBS, will come home for yet another top 10 finish. Shadowstalker comes home for 9th place. A great little battle, great little weekend night for him. So, provisional results for race 2 here at Bathurst. Adam Morris takes 1st place from Boy Raxer, RS Jim in 3rd, Fraser 4th, Radovan 5th, Afcape 6th, Shockshaft 7th, Caesar 82 is in 8th, Shadowstalker is in 9th, Sergio will come home in 10th, as retired, Slidergas retired along with Cop Marco. So let's get a couple of the drivers in again for some post-race interviews. Good evening, Fraser. Not too bad yourself? I do take it both of you have your audio sharing on.
I do.
I guess I'll find out when I watch it. Yes. Evening, Adam.
Good evening.
So we'll start with Adam anyway, because race winner, 3rd race winner of the season. It's a bit of an achievement at the moment, just to win a race.
Yeah, it was a tough battle throughout. I had Benji and Fraser always right behind us. I think he made a little mistake, lap 12, I think it was. He sort of lost us after that. But yeah, I think it was on lap 14. I just managed to get the run on Benji and managed to get past him and hold it for the last lap.
Obviously, Fraser, it was a nice to see you back up there after a bad race 1.
Race 1, I changed the tyre pressures stupidly just before the start of the race because I'd set up for warmer. So I changed them, and just those couple of little changes just changed the handling of the car, and it wasn't as good as, well, the second race. I put them back to the pressures I had them at before, and you see the difference. Just a shame about that little spin.
Yeah, obviously.
I was having a great time. I was working out where I could take Adam or Boy Raxer,
Yeah.
Benjamin.
I could see Yaya and stuff back there.
Yeah, I was on. I had it figured I was going to do you on the last two corners, but my driving through the mountain bit let me down. Gave me an opportunity to have a nice little battle with NXTGEN. Always a pleasure to race him.
Yeah, I mean, that was an interesting battle because obviously Jim got ahead of you and then all of a sudden you were back ahead of him on the final lap and it was pretty much a drag race split you apart.
Yeah, all the times I've gone up to the last corner, the guys, it's the first time I've taken the inside line. Usually I go for the outside line, but generally the guy on the outside line comes worse off, but Jim just got it right. If any of the corners I was having trouble on, that was the last corner was the one I wasn't getting right. There's some time for me to find now.
Now, obviously, Adam, obviously your teammate is Boyrexa, and you've pretty much got the teams sewed up at the moment, so is this now quite literally between you two a individual game of you trying to bring the championship back in before we get to Monza for the final round?
In a sense, yes. I mean, we're always sort of looking for ourselves as well as the team side of it, but we'll always be fighting each other on track, just in a more sensible type manner.
I was very impressed at the teamwork, to be honest. First corner up, first straight, and I had Adam beat, and I was just getting into Boyrex's slipstream, which would just give me that edge, and he moved over to give Adam the slipstream. So I thought that was nicely done. Yeah, I was really impressed by that.
Obviously, the slipstream was very strong. I mean, there was multiple times, Adam, that you almost had Boyrexa on the slipstream going into Quarry and down the Conrod. How frustrating is it? How frustrating is it knowing that you've got that much of a slipstream and yet you still can't quite finish the move off during the race?
Yeah, it's the slipstream overspeed is quite insane, especially on the run into the Conrod. But I just couldn't get him under braking. He was too good on the brakes on the outside, which is sort of the better line through that turn.
The overspeed on that back straight was amazing, actually. I was picking up so much time. Yeah, it's a good 5 mile an hour, 6 mile an hour faster.
I think the top speed I achieved was 148, which is for those cars is
fast. Yeah.
So now, looking forward to round 8. Obviously, Boyrex has taken more points out of you, Adam, so you'll be looking for a lot better night in a week's time. But
I hope so.
Ruapuna GP circuit in New Zealand, so same continent. Question really for both of you: what do you think of the Ruapuna track? We'll start with Adam.
It's a track I haven't really done much of. I drove it on the original Project Cars, but I haven't really drove it much on this game at all, so I don't really know much about it.
It might be quite. Is it the GP or because there's a few layouts of it? And
I believe it is the GP circuit.
Yeah, there's some good corners that would suit this GT5 car because they're unforgiving. The curbs, the curbs are quite. They've got a lip to them, so if you hit them, you're in a little bit in trouble. And the last corner, and the first sweeping corner, they're both quite challenging. If you can get them right, you can carry a lot of speed round, and obviously if you could end up losing the back end, especially the first corner.
Yeah, nice insight.
Yeah, it's not my favourite track, but I think it could provide some really good racing, as I'm going around it in my head at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that was all the questions I have for you guys. I mean, so thank you for joining me after the race. It's always, always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
But
cheers for the race, Adam.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, like that.
Obviously, round 8 at Ruapuna GP next week, so do join us for that one. It's going to be just like Bathurst, an absolute cracker of a race, hopefully big battles. But from me and the guys at the Ginetta GT5s, so all sponsored by Emily and Scott, which we're all very grateful for. Thank you all for watching tonight. Do join us next week for round number 8. Enjoy the rest of your night.